And that's what happens when you don't fall out properly with people, when you don't cut ties consciously together.
Because you have forgotten but haven't forgiven yet.
Yeah, you have not forgiven. I have not forgiven. Forgiveness. Follow us through this one. We know this one is a very complex one, but it all makes sense. It's all tied together. So what's important spiritually is that after you have managed to do the forgiveness part, which also can be very emotionally intense, it is very important to integrate forgiveness by letting go. It is such an important part of letting go because you can forgive but still carry what has happened. And that will also tie you down. So after you have managed to forgive, it's important to integrate that lesson into your reality, your new reality, your upgraded reality, is by letting it go. And I'm feeling that so strongly for myself right now. It's very a Scorpio season energy, is cutting ties. And I know I need to cut ties in my life with people who are maybe not even in my life anymore, but I'm still tied to them, and I can tell in my dreams. I have not yet consciously made the pact to completely cut the tie. And that's also how you cut ties. It's not only through the cord cutting rituals you see on TikTok. The most important part about it is doing it consciously and really integrating that into your subconscious. Telling your subconscious to let go of something, that is the cutting ties. You can also achieve that through hypnosis, meditation, movement.
Have you ever done hypnosis?
No, but I'm feeling extremely called because I think it's just my time soon. I was not mature enough yet to do hypnosis. It's different for everyone, but at some point you will just feel called, or me personally, I just feel called to it because I just want to assist the cutting ties, because I can tell for me it's a lot of ties I need to cut. Scorpio energy reflects to us, or to me, how within myself, even though I cut people from my life, I don't cut them subconsciously. I still dream about them. And in a way, it can even turn into obsession, because why are you holding on to something for so long? Like, just cut that shit. But I was somehow subconsciously unable. And hypnosis helps you to really clean up subconsciously. And me as a psychic, I will get signs when it's like the tie cutting is overdue. Today I had such a strong pain in the back of my, on my back, at the height of my heart, like right here. And it really feels like someone stabbing me in my back. I can kind of not explain what muscle or organ where the pain is coming from. I cannot tell, because it feels local but non-existent at the same time. It feels like a spiritual pain. So I received this message like my back is hurting, and I also know very well how to deal with my own pain when I have like physical pain. Especially I know how to move, I know how to heal it, how to release it. But this time I really could tell it was not physical. So because I did everything, like I was really sending healing to that point. And then I said out loud, is someone stabbing me in my back? And my response to that is, even if, I don't care, because I don't allow them into my life. They may exist, and we may have cords, people who try to stab me in my back, but I know they are not in my life, so I know it's safe to cut the cord. This is my life, and I take charge of it. Snip, snip, goodbye. I've been having dreams of everyone who wronged me, of everyone who stabbed me in my back. Like, why do I dream of them? Girl, let go. Letting go is also a decision. And a very important decision to make after forgiving. They should go hand in hand, in my opinion. It just creates healing.
Yeah, forgiving is really, like everything in life, a very complex act of healing, because we often confuse forgiving with forgetting. That's why a lot of people don't want to forgive or not able to forgive, because they feel like they have to forget the wrongdoing or the pain or whatever. But of course, the ego is slick. The ego is like, no, I don't want to forget that, because I want to remember how to protect myself from the betrayal of a family member or a friend or whatever. But yeah, like we talked in the last episode or the previous one of the previous episodes, that in order to truly forgive, you have to forgive yourself. But how does, in this situation, for example, where you're saying like you want to tie or cut the ties between you and old energies, how would that look like in terms of going within yourself and forgiving yourself? Like, is it more about something that you are not able to remember consciously, or is it, yeah, like how is it, or how do you feel like?
It's revealed to me by God. Because ironically, to access my subconscious, I need to meet my higher self and guide me through it. I don't know if this is easy to understand, but
It's not able to understand. You can only feel it.
Yes, you can only feel it. You can only feel God. And those who believe in God know exactly what I'm talking about, who have a connection to God. Having a connection to God is like the strongest tool. Like, you reach out to your higher self and let yourself be guided by their connection. But my higher self shows me everything that my subconscious feels. Because the subconscious remembers things as feelings. They came to us through our nervous system. And our nervous system has decided for them to go to a bad or a good path. It was just emotions in the end. But that's also how we trap them in our body. Because our subconscious remembers every single thing that we have felt in our whole life. That's really an insane amount. Do you guys understand the brain? How much capacity it has? The abundance of neurons. Everything is on this data bank. And I cannot access that data bank with my conscious mind. That kind of sucks.
It's funny.
I can only ask a higher source to show me which doors to open. So there were times where I didn't do this so easily. And that these times I was very down bad because I didn't believe in God. I didn't know God. I thought I believed in God. Somehow I always had this connection, but I wouldn't know what it was like to embody a life that is connected to God.
How could you?
I never experienced it. until then. And then it just grew and God just guided me. Yes, I will openly talk about my connection to God. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah, I just wanted to know from you, like, how do you mean it with the cutting ties? Is it more of an energy that you are not aware of, but you feel it and you cannot name it, or is it more specific, or how can I understand it?
How it works is that how holding on to things works is that you don't consciously feel them, but you are connected still somehow. And when I mean connection, I don't mean like a physical thread to another person. I mean the still referring to them in some way, like you clearly haven't let go. So your subconscious still refers to them. In my dream, I still dream about people betraying me. So why am I even still referring to them? Obviously, I haven't let them go yet. But I don't feel that consciously. It's subconsciously going on within me.
Also because you don't see them.
I don't see them.
If you would see them, you would probably feel
yes,
it
I
more
would know.
consciously.
And that's what happens when you don't fall out properly with people. When you don't cut ties consciously together.
Because you have forgotten but haven't forgiven yet.
Yeah, you have not forgiven. I have not forgiven. Forgiveness. Follow us through this one. We know this one is a very complex one, but it all makes sense. It's all tied together.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
The still holding on was shown to me by God through a dream. First of all, I was dreaming about situations that were just fictional, but the people who betrayed me, they have also betrayed me in real life once. And I have clearly not forgiven them. So God is literally presenting a whole play of what was actually going on. And today I'm not okay with that, so I also don't need to hold that in my heart, so I should forgive. But it was the lack of integration. I have not forgiven, and I have not integrated by letting go. So that's why we're still having cords. And I can tie them by sitting in meditation and really sitting with myself and talking to God and really being heart to heart with myself and really meet them with compassion. And then it can look like in my head, I'm telling them, you know what, you didn't know better. And if we were put together in this life for a reason, that let's just close this chapter and take our own personal lessons. So let's just cut this cord. And I receive permission from them, and the cord is cut. And I don't feel the pain in my back no more. And sometimes we have to do that over and over again with people because it's very layered and nuanced, and we have to do that with multiple people we have forgotten about, haven't thought about them in years, but one day, probably in Scorpio season, they will come up. So actually what relates also to this topic is what I actually wanted to talk about today. Because we have watched the movie Eyes Wide Shut.
Like eyes wide shut, but I slide in it.
I slide in it.
1 sec. The industry don't like me. Tell them pussy niggas likewise.
Din, din. Stell dich aus.